afternoon, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. Sea towards 5 feet, occasionally to 6 feet. Wave detail, northeast 5 feet at 6 seconds. A slight chance of showers late. Tonight, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 knots after midnight. Gusts up to 25 knots. Sea towards 5 feet, occasionally to 6 feet. Wave detail, northeast 5 feet at 7 seconds. Tuesday, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Sea towards 5 feet, occasionally to 6 feet. Wave detail, east 5 feet at 8 seconds. Tuesday night, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots with gusts up to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 knots after midnight. Seas 3 to 4 feet, occasionally to 5 feet. Wave detail, east 4 feet at 8 seconds. Wednesday, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet, occasionally to 5 feet. Wave detail, east 3 feet at 8 seconds. Wednesday night, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Gusts up to 15 knots in the evening. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Thursday, southeast winds 5 knots, increasing to 10 to 15 knots, gusts up to 20 knots in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Thursday night, south winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Friday, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming south in the afternoon. Gusts up to 15 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Friday night, south winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Marine forecast, current south. Small craft advisory in effect until 7 p.m. this evening. This afternoon, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. Waves around 2 feet. Tonight, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 knots after midnight.
Hey everyone, we are
Up to 25 knots.
leaving soon.
Around 2 feet, diminishing 1 to 2 feet after
We are leaving soon.
Tuesday, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Tuesday night, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots with gusts up to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 knots after midnight. Waves around 1 foot, diminishing to 1 foot or less, and light chop after midnight. Wednesday, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Wednesday night, east winds 5 to 10 knots, coming southeast after midnight. Waves around 1 foot, diminishing to 1 foot or less, and light chop after midnight. Thursday, southeast winds 5 knots, increasing to 5 to 10 knots, with gusts up to 15 knots in the afternoon. Waves 1 foot or less, and light chop increasing to 1 foot in the afternoon. Thursday night, south winds 5 to 10 knots. Gusts up to 15 knots in the evening. Waves around 1 foot. Friday, south winds 5 to 10 knots with gusts up to 15 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Friday night, south winds 5 to 10 knots. Gusts up to 15 knots in the evening. Waves around 1 foot. Marine forecast, James River from James River Bridge to Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. This afternoon, northeast winds 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Waves 2 to 3 feet. Tonight, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Waves 2 to 3 feet. Tuesday, northeast winds 10 knots with gusts up to 15 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Tuesday night, east winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming south after midnight. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Wednesday, north winds 5 knots, becoming east with gusts up to 15 knots in the afternoon. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Wednesday night, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Gusts up to 15 knots in the evening. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Thursday, south winds 5 knots, becoming southeast 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots in the afternoon. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Thursday night, south winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Friday, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Gusts up to 15 knots in the afternoon. Waves 1 foot. Friday night, south winds 10 knots with gusts up to 15 knots. Waves 1 foot. Air quality forecast. The Beach forecast. Rest of today, current risk high surf heights 3 to 5 feet. Water temperature in 70s. Weather, mostly sunny. Beach temperatures in the mid-70s. Beach winds, northeast winds around 20 miles per hour. Tides, Virginia Beach, high 3 to 8 p.m. Tuesday, current risk high surf heights 3 to 5 feet. Weather, mostly sunny. Beach temperatures in the mid-70s. Beach winds, northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tides, Virginia Beach, low at 9:27 a.m. High 4:11 p.m. Offshore waters forecast Baltimore Canyon to Cape Charles Light to 100 nautical miles. Today, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 5 to 6 feet. Isolated thunderstorms. Tonight, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Tuesday, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Tuesday night, northeast winds less than 10 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Isolated thunderstorms. Wednesday, north winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming variable. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Wednesday night, south to southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Thursday, south to southeast winds less than 10 knots, becoming southeast. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Thursday night, south to southwest winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Friday, southwest winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming south. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Friday night, south winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Hazardous weather information. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for northeast North Carolina and southeast Virginia. Today and tonight. Please listen to NOAA Weather Radio or go to weather.gov on the internet for more information about the following hazards. Beach hazards statement. High wind current risk. And now the extended outlook for the period Tuesday through Sunday. Hazardous weather about the second time. The 1 p.m. area weather observations. Northern, sunny. Temperature 77, dew point 60, relative humidity 55%. Wind northeast, 15 miles an hour. Pressure 30.17 inches and steady. At Newport News, mostly sunny. Temperature 75, dew point 58, relative humidity 55%. Wind northeast, 7 miles an hour. Pressure 30.19 inches and falling. Across the west half of the and in eastern North Carolina, Virginia Beach, partly sunny and 76. Wind northeast, 17 miles per hour, gusting to 25. Elizabeth City, light rain and 77. Wind northeast, 15 miles an hour. Eaton, partly sunny and 77.
Got some iced coffee and some
Wallis Island, light rain.
ice cold water.
Wind northeast, 20 miles an hour. Washington, D.C., partly sunny and 79.
I had to take a nap. That's why I stopped. I was exhausted. I was driving all night.
And 74. Mansfield, cloudy.
I was driving all night.
Wind northeast, 14 miles an hour, gusting to 22. The weather synopsis. Continued dry and very pleasant conditions are expected with below average temperatures through the middle of the week. A cold front approaches late week, slightly warmer temperatures and a chance for showers. Now the official National Weather Service forecast.
Right now, I got a whole bunch of construction materials on the back.
Today, partly sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. Northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Lows in the mid-60s. Northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly clear. Lows in the mid-60s. Thursday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 80s. Thursday night, mostly clear.
It is time to go. Are you guys ready?
At 10 knots.
It is time to
Air
go.
temperature was 71. The wind was northeast at 11 knots. Piney Point, winds were east, 10 knots. Bishop's Head, air temperature was 73. The wind was northeast at 10 knots. Lewis Head, air temperature was 72. Water temperature 75. The wind was northeast at 10 knots. Stingray Point buoy, air temperature was 71. The wind was northeast at 14, not gusting to 17. Rappahannock Light, winds were north, 14 knots. Yorktown Coast Guard Station, air temperature was 72. Water temperature 77. The wind was northeast at 9 knots. Chippewa Peak, water temperature 76. The wind was northeast at 10 knots, gusting to 19. Twin Terminal Newport News, air temperature was 76. The wind was north at 3 knots. South Greely Island, air temperature was 72. The wind was northeast at 15, not gusting to 21. Cape Henry, air temperature was 71. The wind was northeast at 17, not gusting to 19. Brightwater Lake Delaware, winds were east, 14 knots. Air temperature 71. Frederick Island buoy, winds were northeast, 16 knots. Water temperature 73. Air temperature 70. Buoy 64 nautical miles east of Virginia Beach, air temperature was 72. Wave height 6 feet. Wave period 6. The wind was northeast at 14, not gusting to 17. Wallops Island buoy, water temperature 74. Wave height 4 feet. Wave period 6. Buoy just east of Cape Henry. Water temperature 76. Wave height 5. Wave period 5.
What's up, Norman? How you doing?
The wind was northeast at 17, not gusting to 21. Diamond Shoal buoy, winds were northeast, 25 knots. Water temperature 80. Air temperature 75. Marine forecast, Chesapeake Bay from the point upward to Little Creek, Virginia. This afternoon, northeast winds 10 to 15, knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Waves 2 to 3 feet. Tonight, northeast winds 10 to 15, knots with gusts
coast of Virginia, headed to Virginia Beach right now, and then all the way south to Atlanta. We are about to hit the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. It is certainly the longest bridge tunnel in the world. I'm not sure about other factors about it. It is 18 miles. We'll be above the water, below the water, above the water, below the water, and above the water again before we get to Virginia Beach. A lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoy it. It's a beautiful sunny day out here. Look at those skies. Look at those skies. Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Here we go. Oh, someone got a ticket or a warning or something. I don't know, but here we go. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Be over here. This is only for trucks and cars.
Gotcha. first section of the bridge is above the water. The next section is in a tunnel below the water. Look at this sides. Look at these sides. The next section after that is above the water. And it's a bridge, of course. And the next section after that is below the water, another tunnel. And the final section is above the water, another bridge. Very, very rare to have this type of structure out here in the world. So this goes directly into Virginia Beach, and about 10 to 15 miles to the north of here, once we get over all this, would be Norfolk. And then about an hour south, once we get over the bridge, is the Outer Banks of North Carolina, a very unheralded, beautiful place to go. The waves are some of the strongest they are, if not the strongest, on the East Coast down there. I used to go down there every couple of weeks and surf when I lived in Virginia Beach, so I know this area very well. I hope the stream still keeps going once we get into the tunnel sections of this pass from northern to southern Virginia. I'm not sure though. I'm guessing we will be able to still stream once we get into the tunnels, just because this is so used that they need to be able to contact people in emergencies, etc. Some marshland on the left and right. There we go. Into the clouds. Happy I hit this during this time of the day. I haven't been over this during the daytime in years. Wow. About to tell you guys that there are a lot of cops patrolling this bridge, and right before, I was going to say, right before, right after, whatever you want to call it, there's a cop right there on the side. Water on all sides. It is deep around here. Deep, deep, deep. We are already pretty far out into the water. I promised you guys the other day that this would be a sight. Look at this. Headed to Virginia Beach, and then all the way down the coast to Atlanta. I used to live about less than a half a mile away from the end of this bridge, the terminus of this bridge. I used to live about less than a half a mile. I used to live right on the beach. Why did I move? Why did I ever move? I used to sleep right on the beach. There are miles and miles and miles of beach down here. So the tourists generally go to one area, and if you live here, I didn't own the beach in front of me, but no one ever came there, so I just take a sheet, lay right on the beach, wake up to the sunrise, go for a run, swim. It's beautiful. Don't know why I moved. It was one of my better mistakes. One of my better mistakes for sure. I guess I moved so I can go all over. I have been a lot of places. Only state in the lower 48 I have been is Maine. That will happen soon. That will hopefully happen under my own power on a bicycle, riding across the U.S. or on the Appalachian Trail going north. Only state in the lower 48 I haven't been to is Maine. I haven't been to Alaska or Hawaii, but I've been to many different countries and a few continents. I've been to Europe, I've been to South America, I've been to Africa. And many places beyond and in between. All these people are funneling in front of me. It doesn't really make that much sense because there is a major slowdown after we get funneled into this one lane. So they are just racing to go slow. That's what most cars do. They race to go slow. So it's in character, I guess. It is in character. Oh, there's someone coming up hot on the left. He is not going to make the transition. Even though I'm slowing down. We're about to hit our first tunnel. You guys excited? Oh my! 13 feet 6 inches. That is about how tall I am now. We'll be completely fine on major roads and bridges and tunnels like this. There are usually a couple inches of leeway, and I know for sure there's a couple inches of leeway here, so we will be absolutely fine. Let's see if the stream holds up in the tunnel. I hope it does for you guys. I hope it does. Makes me so happy to share these roads and these sites with you guys. Sunglasses on, we are going outside again. I do like that dive deep into the water. I do like that dive. I love it. I got water in my ears. I have to rub out my eyes. I am salty. Can you smell the seawater? I just tasted it, so I just tasted it. I hope you guys can taste it too. I have swam many miles right here in this water. Not in the middle here, but right off the coast. I have swam many, many miles. Last time I drove over this, it was nighttime in the winter, and it was very windy. The speed limit was 25 and 35 the whole way across. And I didn't mind because it's been so long since I've been over it. So I just took my time. The wind was trying to push me around, but it did not succeed. It did not succeed. Looks like the stream held up underwater. I'm so happy about that. Of course the stream held up underwater. It's a stream. Of course it's going to hold up underwater. Well, I'm so silly. I'm so silly. Look at these shadows, these deep shadows on the ocean from the clouds. There are tankers over yonder. There are container ships. Like I said, I've been over this many times. I used to live right here, less than a half a mile away from the bridge on the beach. I opened the back door of my house and the sand was right there underneath my feet. Why did I move? Why did I move? I had a beautiful girlfriend that I almost married. I have made some mistakes. But, you know, we are out here and we are repairing our mistakes by the second, not the minute, not the hour, not the day, not the month, not the year, by the second. Keep on telling me where you're watching from and tell me if you have any questions. I can't read anything right now since I'm driving, but we stop at a light, or not really a traffic light, there's no time, but we stop for some food later on. I will scroll through the comments and answer your questions or just tell you things you might want to know. It is a lot of fun sometimes out here, and it is very, very hard sometimes out here. So in a day I can be up and down again, or sometimes a few days are really good, and then afterwards a few days are really bad. But right now, this is peak. This is peak. Like the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. We'll be out here most every day. Unless I'm taking a break, we're going to be out here driving all across America, all around America, all across America, sometimes into Canada, and sometimes into Mexico. Though that's very, very rare. I will tell you that much. That is very, very, very rare. We are headed down underwater again. Get your snorkel or get your scuba gear. I think your scuba gear is probably in order because we're going deep down into the water right now. Deep down into the water. Deep down. Thank you to all these people that built this beautiful structure. It is about exactly 50 years old. Today. It's been around for 50 years now. Could you imagine they built this 50 years ago? I mean, I can imagine. They had great technology then. obviously. Computing might have not have been there, but engineering was. This is 50 years old. I lost you guys down there in the water. I said I lost you guys down there in the water. We went deeper than we did the last time, and that is the last tunnel. So we will not lose each other again. We still got some bridge left. Still got a good bit of bridge left. So here we go. That alert happens when people get too close to me or I get too close to them. Usually it is the former. Usually people are getting too close to me, but I do get too close to people sometimes. I try not to. I try not to. I don't like kissing people while I'm driving, so I try not to get close. Only when I'm not driving. Do tell your friends, your family, and your coworkers about my channel if they like travels and all kinds of sites. They'll love this channel. If they like trucks, they'll like the channel. And if they like all kinds of traffic and mountains, and prairies, and dairy farms, and factories, beaches. Look at this. Look at this beautiful beach we're about to hit. So all these houses right in front of us. This is Virginia. This is actually Little Creek, Virginia. So this is where I lived. To the south, which is left of your view right now, and that is Virginia Beach. I lived in one of these houses right here on the right. Right here on the right, I lived in one of these houses. I used to swim during the day, in the middle of the night. Swimming in this bay, swimming in the ocean at night, there's nothing like it, because you cannot see anything. It is just pitch black, and you don't know what's in the ocean with you. I loved it. I am a natural born human dolphin, and yeah, I just made some mistakes, but that is why we are out here on this truck. We are fixing our mistakes. Look at all these people on the beach. Look at all these. They look like ants to me. They probably look like microbes to you, but there are a lot of people on the beach. I don't know what they are doing. There are a lot of jellyfish in this water. I have gotten stung up on my long swims. Just come out of the water, splotches of red on my body, but it didn't stop it. It didn't stop it. Look at this beautiful beach. Little Creek, Virginia. To the south, to your left, is Virginia Beach. To your right, to the north, is Norfolk, Virginia. Both beautiful places to visit. Both beautiful places to visit. Look at these beautiful houses. I used to live right down there on the right. We all make mistakes, make the others. As long as you come out of it healthy to some extent, you can usually fix those mistakes, and that is what I am doing right now. cut the trees for me so I can get by. If you look ahead at all these trees, they are truck shaped. Exactly the height necessary for my truck to get through. You can see the L's in the trees sometimes. There was a bar I used to go to right here. I think it's at this intersection. My pizza place is less than a mile, maybe less than a half a mile away from here. They used to cut these really small slices. And normally I don't like my pizza that way, but this place was just really good. Really good. So this is Little Creek, Virginia, right smack dab in the middle of Norfolk to the north to your right, and Virginia Beach to the left and south of us. There's a great national park for hiking down there. I used to hike during the morning, afternoon, and night down there. When I was just a youngin', I remember my first time hiking in the dark. I got scared because I didn't have a phone or GPS or nothing, but I found my way back. It was alright. It was alright. We got a big fire truck on our left. We got all types of vehicles. This is a perfect channel for people that love vehicles or like to just look at the road. There's all types out here. All types. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Situations like this, local driving like this, on roads like this, I like to be in the middle lane. It gives me the most outs in case there's any type of static, whether it be someone pulled over, or if there's an accident, or someone's having a medical emergency, and I just let the cars on my left and my right just flow around me like I'm a raft in the river. Like a raft in the river. It also ensures I don't have to stop all the time for people coming up on the right, if they're coming on to the road, or if they're exiting the road and they're slowing down. Got a Mississippi car in front of us, a Virginia on the left, and a Florida on the right. Oh, it's the cross sections of the South. Mississippi. Spell that 5 times fast. Sing it 5 times fast, but you can't. I've been on this road many times. In many different vehicles. A Saturn Coupe, a Mustang, some pickup trucks, a couple of vans. like Volvos. I never had a Volvo. Never had a Volvo. Been driven many Volvos either. Driven all types, but not many Volvos. I've been a passenger in a few Volvos. No, but Little Creek, Norfolk, Virginia Beach is a great place to live. It's beautiful. It's got great weather usually. Everyone is fit, or a lot of people are fit, which is always a plus. Everyone is tan. There's great seafood that you could buy at the store or just catch yourself. So many great places to fish around here. Fish right from the beach. Get on a boat and fish from there. And if you don't know much about boats or sailing, there's a lot of people that are very experienced down here in the water. I myself am very experienced in the water, but I do not live near the water right now. Pretty much live on this vehicle in motion at most times, at all times. We are heavy. We are heavy. We are about 79,000 pounds, plus or minus 200 at the moment. So we are heavy. So if we encounter hills or small mountains in Appalachia, it's going to take us some time to get up those hills and those mountains. My girlfriend, when I lived down here, she went to school right up the road here. I'm not sure. I think we're going to pass it right now. If we didn't pass it already, I think we're going to pass it in the next 2 minutes. If we didn't, like I said, if we didn't pass it already. She went to school at Virginia Wesleyan University. And like I said, I think we're about to pass it. That would be a left turn off of the next line, I believe. The next line. We might have passed it, but I think it's the next line. It's been a long time since I've made that left turn. Yes, sadly she is the girl I should have married, but being young and stupid. Being young and stupid, I did not. Beautiful and smart and loyal and sweet. I made one of my many mistakes there. guys want to do this yourself, I did start that conversation the other day. I would say, oh, this guy's not letting me over, of course. Thank you, Land Rover. He is a DH. If you can get that acronym, good for you. Hell of a vet. What's up, brother? He is a DH. I was right. This is Wesleyan Drive up on the left to the south here, and that is where she went to school, Virginia Wesleyan University. That sweatshirt she gave me is still in my storage, I think, somewhere in a box. Hopefully it is a nice, comfy sweatshirt. I'd rather have her than the sweatshirt, but you know, we cannot right some of the wrongs we do in our lives, even if we try. Is that a Toyota in front of us? What we got next to us? A supercharged what? I don't know what this is next to us. We got a Ford Transit van over there. We got like a Ford Escape SUV up there. Gotta get over, and this DH in the Land Rover is not letting me over. Down here too much. When I lived down here, I did not really take this highway, so oh, I think the car, no, maybe the car in front of them is not letting me go. Just need to get over one lane. Okay, here we go. My dishes are getting angry in the back. I don't know if you can hear that. They're getting angry with all these bumps. Oh, anyway, I was talking about if you guys want to do this yourselves, the best way to do that. Everything about this is hard. So, you know, some might say it's easier this way or easier that way. Every which way you do it, it's going to be hard. So you might as well save yourself some money. I would say go to a company that trains you up real nice and doesn't leave you with the bill at the end and pays you while you're training. And again, I don't make any money by telling you this, but I would join Wilson Logistics out of Missouri or Prime Inc. out of Missouri. And basically, you don't need a CDL to work for them. You need a regular license. You need a clean bill of health, no felonies, no DUIs, not too many speeding tickets, etc. And they will hire you and they will train you up. Now, it is not sunshines and rainbows. It is very hard to live on a truck with another man or another woman who you do not know. For upwards of 4 months. Yes, 4 months. 2 to 3 to 4 months, depending on their schedule. Averages out to be between, I'd say about 3 months, plus or minus a week. And you will be trained up and ready to get your own truck. Sometimes there are delays in this process for a multitude of reasons, including court records you might have, or child support, or any number of things legally related. That's going to hold you up a lot. Sometimes there's health concerns the companies might have after you go through a physical, a DOT physical it's called, Department of Transportation. Now some doctors might just ask you to blink and say hi, and they'll sign off on you. And some doctors will get you right naked in the office and ask you to bend over, and I'm not kidding. So it all depends. I've had all kinds of doc physicals from MDs to PAs, physician assistants, to chiropractors. Some companies won't accept a physical from a chiropractor. They want you to go to a medical doctor. So once you get all the legal stuff out of the way, once you go and get your physical, you could join the company. And your first few days, you'll be in orientation and taking your road test. Usually you get your license wherever the company is. So you switch your license over. Say you live in Mississippi and you go to Missouri. You get a temporary CDL permit in Missouri. You change your whole license over as well, but you get that temporary CDL permit. You get on, you go around the yard, you learn about things on the truck, you learn how to back up the truck, and then they throw you on the truck with a stranger. This stranger might smoke like a chimney. This stranger might drink like a fish. This stranger might even have a bad drug habit. But the thing you gotta worry about the most, and I'm not trying to scare you, is if the stranger doesn't shower. And that was the problem with my trainer. My trainer stunk. And it got to the point where I had to tell him, listen, I can't be on the truck anymore if you don't shower. And he actually told me one day he didn't have soap to shower. And I got a fresh bar of soap. My soap is not the cheap kind. I like to spend money on certain things. And I said, here's a bar of soap. And as soon as he saw the soap in my hand, he said, no, he magically had some soap. And he went and took a shower, and things got a little better. But as I said the other day, he had a beautiful pit bull named Charlotte that looked exactly like my old pit bull. So we fell in love right away, and it was almost like her spirit was my old pup. But we got along really well, Charlotte and I. Took her on walks all the time, long walks. And I was on that truck for about 3 months. My training was about 3.5 months. I took 2 weeks with someone before I got my license. So the first 2 weeks or so, could be 10 days, could be 3 weeks, depending. Usually right around 2 weeks, you'll be on the truck with someone, a seasoned driver, experienced driver, and he will teach you a lot about how to operate the truck under local conditions, under highway conditions, in the mountains, on narrow roads, how to park the truck at truck stops, at shippers and receivers, and restaurants and Walmarts, all kinds of things. And then you come back to Wilson Logistics or Prime or whatever company you choose a training company, you just save so much money. Anyway, they're all the same. CRST, I'm not sure if they train you right out. They might send you to a driving school, so that's similar. If they send you to the driving school and they foot the bill, then that's the same thing. In this case, usually you have to drive for the company for a year before you can go somewhere else. Now you can go somewhere else right after you get your CDL, and you're on. Even when you get your CDL, you have to be on the truck for 3 months. Thing is, you're gonna owe them $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, whatever it is right now, whatever they say it is. But you won't owe them that money if you work for them for a year. Like I said, this is a very hard job. It's hard any way you slice it. So why don't you save money up front on the CDL cost? A lot of people that get into trucking are doing it for financial reasons. So there's no reason to spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, 7, 8,000. Some trucking schools are expensive. Right off the bat, be in debt. You're probably already in debt getting on the truck. You don't want to be in debt for 6, 7, 8 grand more. So for a training company, you get paid while you're training. You don't get paid before you get to this. You don't get paid. Right after that, Wilson Logistics and Prime, I think they pay you about $1,000 a week guaranteed. You will make $1,000 a week guaranteed during your training period. And that's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad for a wage to get paid while you're training to do something you've never done before. While you're training to do something that you don't know how to do, they will pay you $1,000 a week doing it. I just think that's the best way. So my training was in the Western 11, they call it. So that's Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. Was that 11? I'm not sure. I think that was 11. Oh, Wyoming. I think that was 11 with the Wyoming. So I drove all those states. My training was during the winter, which is the best time to get your training because you're going to learn a lot more about driving in hazardous conditions, but it also might be the worst time of the year for training because you might quit. You might be more liable to quit, which is probably true because the conditions are scary. Now, I had never driven a truck this size forward before my first day on the truck. We were supposed to drive this truck through the streets of the local town there where my company was located in Montana that day. But my trainer came a day before everyone else's to pick me up, came a day early. So we got on the truck. He drove north for about 2 hours. We slept at a Love's, which is kind of like a painted, luxurious truck stop. I guess you could say it is luxurious compared to other truck stops. We slept at the Love's, and overnight it snowed about 1.5 to 2 feet. I am not exaggerating. I had not driven the truck forward yet under any conditions on any road. And he said, okay, we'll wait this out 2-3 hours, see if it calms down, see if they plow a little. And then about 11 minutes later, he said, you know what? Let's go. So on my first day on the truck, I drove through the mountainous roads of Montana and Idaho and Utah. My first day, I had never driven the truck forward, and it was, I was holding on tight. I was holding on tight. I do not know how else to explain it. I was holding on very tight. We saw, no exaggeration, 5 or 6 trucks down in ditches or blown over on the side of the highway that day. It was bad. It was real bad. And I probably definitely shouldn't have been driving in those conditions on my very first day, but he wasn't the best in terms of, he's a good driver, but he wasn't the best in terms of training. That's a good way to put it. He didn't have much consideration for me. So after those, and I'll talk more about that. I'll talk more about these periods. I know everyone wants to hear about these periods. Everyone was asking questions the other day. So after that, I think we were on the truck together for about 12 days. So about 2 weeks, like I said. After that 12 days, I got off the truck. Might have been 11, same thing. I got off the truck, and that was it for him and I. But that was my first training period was over. So I took that weekend to thoroughly learn all the components on a truck, back, top, front, and bottom, the engine, the trailer, the tires and the wheels, and the drivetrain, and all things like that. And on Monday morning, I took my real CDL test, my driving test for the CDL. We drove around Montana. I parked the truck about 4 different ways. different backing maneuvers. I pointed out all the parts on the truck that I have been overstudying that weekend. I actually got myself a cup of Starbucks and a pastry on Saturday and Sunday of that weekend. And I went to the yard from the hotel. I drove from the hotel to the yard, and I spent about 2.5 hours on Saturday and Sunday just making sure I had all the parts of the truck memorized so that I would pass my test with flying colors on Monday. Because you don't want to take it twice. And if you fail once, it's kind of like a yellow flag, if not a red flag for them. So there's always the possibility they'll tell you to go home. That doesn't happen much, but I would have had to take it again. I did not want to take the test again. So I passed with flying colors on my first try that Monday. I was there for a couple more days, and then on Friday that week, I got on the truck with another guy, and he was just gonna drive me to Spokane, Washington, where I'd meet up with another guy who was going to be my trainer. Now, I got on this truck, the guy that's supposed to be my trainer, and I saw the bottom bunk all prettied up and things like that. And I had researched a lot about trucking in general before this, as you should if you want to do this. And I saw that it was prettied up, and then I saw that the top bunk was blank. And he's like, put your stuff on the top, etc. And I said, now am I supposed to sleep on the top bunk while we're moving? I can't sleep on the bottom bunk. And he's like, no, the bottom bunk is all mine. That you can't go down there. So I literally got my stuff off the top bunk, got out of the truck, put it on the ground, and I said, no, thank you. I will not be training with you. I read a lot about how hazardous it is to be on the top bunk. You get jostled around and it's not comfortable. You don't get good sleep. So I'd be driving with not a lot of sleep, because when you're with your trainer after you get your CDL, you drive, he sleeps, he drives, you sleep. And no joke, I know this fits in really good with the story, but a trainee did die while I was training at this company. I don't know whether he was on the top bunk or the bottom bunk. It doesn't really matter. He died. The trainer was on a snowy acid road in Montana. He went into a ditch. The trainee got jostled around, smacked his head on something, and he died. Pretty terrible tragedy. Really put it, took the air out for a few days for me. I just joined the trucking world, and one of the guys that's training at the same time as me is dead. Literally just dead, not injured, he was dead. Pretty sure I never met that guy. He was either in orientation a couple weeks before me or a couple weeks after me, but yeah, he was gone. Rest in peace. It is very dangerous out here. I try to take every precaution I can, but even if you take all the precautions, it's sometimes, a lot of the times, it's not even on me. It could be one of these cars that puts me in a ditch, or another truck, whether that be a garbage truck, a tanker, a flatbed, a reefer truck, a dry van. Now I'll explain all those terms. A garbage truck, I'm sure you guys know what that is, even if you're from a different country, it's a garbage truck. I guess I didn't really have a conscious reason to mention garbage trucks right away, but I guess I did because a lot of those trucks, it's not the driver that's the problem. A lot of those trucks are in disrepair. They do the bare minimum to keep a lot of those trucks up. So a lot of those trucks have failures, whether it be their tires, the drivetrains, the axles. So they get in more accidents than they should, just because of the upkeep is not at the level it should be. And tanker trucks carry anything from oil, refined oil, crude oil, milk, chocolate. Tanker trucks even carry wine in some situations. They carry cream, any liquid, chemicals. They carry liquid hydrogen, all kinds of things. So if you get in an accident with one of those guys with just the combustible nature of those contents under pressure, even if they're not hazardous materials, can be a very bad thing. And then those flatbedders, those are dangerous out on the road if the drivers are irresponsible. And, even if they're not irresponsible, they could have tied everything down right. But, accidents happen, oversights happen. And so they might have steel girders for a construction site. They might have a bobcat, which is like a mini bulldozer on there, or even a big bulldozer. They might have pods. I don't know if you're in the U.S., you know what a pod is. A pod is one of those boxes that people use for storage. And so they come to your house, they drop it off, you put your stuff in there, and someone takes it away. So flatbeds carry pods, even 3 or 4 at a time, just with straps on them, so those can fly off and hit you in an accident. What else did I say? So reefer trucks. So reefer is short for refrigerator truck, and they are carrying either frozen food or fresh food from temperatures ranging from. They also carry, reefer trucks. I'll say everything: frozen foods, fresh foods, flowers. They carry medicine, including vaccines and just regular high-value prescriptions that need to be refrigerated. So their temperatures could be between like -50 and probably about 30 degrees, -50 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And then dry vans, which is where I started out in Montana, carry everything you could put in a regular van, but just more of it. So I carried big paper rolls, I carried grain, I carried electronics, I carried toilet paper, pillows, paper towels, mattresses, really anything you could put in a van. I drove around. I have transported millions upon millions of pounds, millions of tons at this time, at this point, of products around the U.S. I've also transported brand new trucks all over the U.S. So any type of truck we have on the road here in the United States, I've driven. I have no restrictions on my license. I could drive manual trucks, automatic trucks, anything out there, I can drive it. So I've driven all the new trucks and a lot of the old trucks on the road, because the company I used to work for that transported new trucks, once in a while I would transport an old truck to a used truck dealer, a sleazy used truck dealer who was trying to turn a dime on something that wasn't really roadworthy. A lot of those old trucks broke down in transit. I didn't really mind much. I got paid extra on those days. They paid for my hotel on those days, so it wasn't that big a deal, but they broke down all the time. I remember I delivered an old tractor from North Carolina to northern Jersey once. Broke down 3 different times in transit. Now, it was like easy fixes. I just kind of had to tighten some bolts and some wires here and there, and off we went. Because I don't want to necessarily wait for road service, especially if I'm not going to get paid extra that day or get a hotel. Because if it's just a couple hours, then I'm not going to get paid extra. If it's a couple days, then I'm going to get paid extra. Then why not take a break under someone else's dime, right? But broke down as I was getting into the yard. They didn't know, and you know what? I don't really care. Like, this is, I mean, they paid pennies on the dollar for this truck. As I'm rolling into that yard, the truck broke down again. I was able to just like roll the tractor into a parking spot. It was wild. Got out of the truck, took the New Jersey Transit train. I am a master traveler, and I'm not saying that to pump myself up, but I can figure out routes, whether I'm on foot, on bike, in a car, on a boat, very, very seamlessly. So right from there, I walked about a half a mile, maybe a little more, to the New Jersey Transit train. I took the train into Manhattan, and I took a subway. That was the New Jersey Transit. I took the subway to an Airbnb in Brooklyn that was right next to JFK, and I stayed there the night, got some good Chinese food, just got a room in an Airbnb. I wasn't going to be there for too long, and then right in the morning, and I think it was like 6:15, 6:30, I got a flight out. I think I went to Ohio. Yeah, I got a flight out to Ohio, and then I paid $100 for an Uber to take me to Chillicothe, Ohio, where I picked up another truck. So there you go. We are still in Virginia, still rolling hard, heavy. Our next state is North Carolina. I've spent a lot of time in North Carolina, not really North Carolina proper, but the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which is a beautiful, beautiful set of beaches in North Carolina, where I used to do a lot of surfing. I used to surf right before hurricanes came in because I was smart, because those are the best waves. After that, we'll be in South Carolina, and then finally in Georgia. We will not make it to Georgia tonight, but we'll be getting into Atlanta tomorrow. And Atlanta is the worst place to drive, whether you're on a scooter, in a car, in a van, or in a truck. They have many lanes and many roads, but too many people for those roads. So you will see, and there is traffic and accidents and cops all over the place, whether it be noon, night, or 3 a.m. There is traffic galore. You guys are enjoying the sights, and I hope that I'm giving you some great information. It's a beautiful day, some clouds in the sky, all white and puffy. If you can't get outside for whatever reason, you're sick, or you work from home, or you take care of your little ones or your old ones, or for whatever reason you just like being home on a Sunday, this will get you out, and I'm glad that you could be here with me. It makes driving a lot easier, a lot simpler, and makes me a lot happier when I'm streaming. So I'm definitely sure to keep on doing this into the future. I think one of the only things that's going to restrict me from streaming is the service, is the cell phone service I get. And if the channel really blows up, I do plan to get satellite service so that everything is seamless and I can stream from basically everywhere. live streams. Guys, can someone put in the comments so I can read it later? Can you go back while the stream is live? Can you go back? I'm just wondering. I'm not sure. I was asking the question just because we went over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel earlier and it was beautiful sights. And I want the people that are just joining us to go ahead and go back 30, 40 minutes and go over the bridge and through the tunnels with us. Now later on, once this video is uploaded, you got to go to the live section to watch the video. It won't be under the regular video section where there are no more videos left on this channel. But go to the live section and you can find today's video in there. And if you want to rewatch or watch anew the time that we drove over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel together, you can watch that there. Right now we're in Virginia. We're going southwest until we hit the 95, the I-95, and then we're gonna bang real hard south on the map on the 95. If you didn't subscribe yet, please do make sure you subscribe and make sure you ring that bell so you get notified when I do start streaming again tomorrow and the next day after that and the next day after that. These streams generally will not be scheduled. I will try to tell you on the previous day's stream when we might stream the next day, but there are so many factors that come into play that might not allow me to stream on time as it is. So I am wary of scheduling streams. But if I do know I'll be in the truck streaming, then I might take advantage of the scheduling situation on YouTube. But I'm not too familiar with that yet. I'm not too adept yet at live streaming. I used to upload videos to YouTube quite a lot. I used to spend a lot of time editing them, but I have not live streamed a great deal. So I'm still learning some of the things you need to know in order to do that correctly. And I know a lot of people think, well, you just do this and do that and put your phone here. But when you're in a moving vehicle like this, there's a bit more that goes to it. And I got to make sure that I have a good amount of data just to get this stream going. And a couple other programs on my phone to make sure that this is a better experience for you all than it might be if I just did point my phone at the road and try this out. We have used a great deal of data over just these first few days of the stream. This is what the third day I'm streaming, right? Is that correct? I think it's the third day I'm streaming, and I have used over 300 gigabytes of data already. That is a lot of data to use in 3 days. So you can imagine doing this over a month. I might use 3, 4, 5 terabytes of data. That is an enormous amount of data just to get this out. Now I know that the picture looks simple, and sometimes the picture looks worse than simple because the reception isn't great and the data is not coming through as smoothly as it should because we're in places that don't have great cell phone service. But regardless, we are using a great deal of data to get the stream out there. And no, I'm not kidding. We did use over 300 gigabytes of data in these first 3 days of streaming. So just imagine as those numbers go down, this is going to be quite the data hog of a stream. There ain't no Wi-Fi on the road. There ain't no Wi-Fi on the road. You guys are wondering how I'm navigating these roads. Normally, before I get on the road, what I was doing when we were sitting there at that truck stop for a little while earlier, at the very beginning of the stream, I am memorizing my route. And I'm not kidding, I memorized each turn and each road I need to be on. I know that seems a little wild, but I do have a knack for it. I have a great memory, and I memorize the roads I need to be on and the turns I need to make. If it is overly complicated, I will write down the names and turns on a sheet of paper and do it that way. And I do use a GPS sometimes. I do. We're not using a GPS today. I do use GPS sometimes, but I do it this way so that next time I drive the route, or the next time, sometimes it takes me a few times to memorize the route, then I just know it and I don't need a GPS. So sometimes when you use this method, you might not know the exact lane you need to be in. You might have noticed that earlier when I had to get into the left lane to go east on the 64. I did not know that, so I had to get over a little bit, but we got on the right road. But this just makes it easier driving without a GPS. Maybe not the first time, but the second, third, and fourth, and definitely the fifth time when I have the route completely memorized. My brain is one big map of the U.S., and obviously smaller sections I know better than others, but I can get many places without a map or a GPS all over the U.S. And I don't think I'm bragging. Maybe I'm bragging a little, but I just think that's the way to go if you can do it. I understand some people need a GPS, and some people just grew up with a GPS. It's just the way I do it, and like I said, I will use a GPS under certain conditions, but I usually just memorize the route Like I said, if it's too complicated, I will write it down and tape the paper to my dashboard to remember all the turns and all the roads. Today, there's not too many roads, so I just got it down in my head. There's a big reason. Oh, that changed real quick. It's a big reason you don't hear a GPS or anything on the stream. That's because there is no GPS. I have a GPS, but there's no GPS running right now. There is no GPS running right now, so that is why you don't hear one. It is a great way to learn, to go places, because sometimes, I guess usually you're gonna have your phone which has a GPS, and sometimes, your phone, you might lose it might break, might get damaged, you might be out of power, your phone cord might be ripped apart, and what are you gonna do if you don't know how to get places? I mean, in that situation, you gotta go to the nearest gas station and ask for directions. But if there's not a gas station for a while, you're going to be driving around in circles. And sometimes driving around in circles is the best way to learn an area. But the thing about driving around in circles and roads you don't know is you might run out of gas. You might find yourself in a situation you don't want to be, whether that's around some strangers that might be less than friendly, or you might break down and you might not. It's just better to know where you're going. So I always say, learn the route to some extent before you go somewhere you don't know. And you'll just be better off. That day will be hard, but the future will be a lot easier for you in many ways. I love the fact that I could just drive so many places in the United States and not worry about a map. Oh, maybe I should have stopped it. Oh, it's too late now. I wanted to get some donuts today. Yes, I am a fat trucker. I could have. Oh, it's okay. Can I go in there? Nope, it is blocked off. That's okay. I am a fat trucker. I am conventionally overweight right now. I'm not going to tell you guys I'm in great shape. I am in Olympic shape, as I said the other day, for a trucker. So I look like a normal American. Well, maybe I look a little better than what some of you guys in Europe would think a normal American would be, but I am definitely out of shape, and I have no illusions to that. And honestly, there's just no way around it. I am sitting for so long. I try to exercise as much as I can. Whenever I see a set of stairs, I go up and down as many times as I can. I do a lot of push-ups and squats while I'm out here on the truck. I do wall balls, medicine ball. I use a heavy rope for jump rope. But even doing all that I do, it's not enough to be in any kind of conventional fitness. Like I said, I'm an Olympian amongst truckers, but amongst the average person, I look like an average person, which I guess isn't too bad, but it sucks for me just because I'm used to being very fit, and I'm not at the moment. And that makes me sad. This is still in the I'd say we're still right in the northern section of Virginia. We're right about to pass the midline of Virginia, being southern Virginia. Kind of in the country here. Houses in this area of Virginia are probably pretty reasonably priced. I've never priced them, but they're probably pretty reasonably priced. I'm not knocking people that live near the road, but after being on the truck as long as I've been, I will never live near the road. When I do buy a house, I am not going to be, I might be near a road. I'm not going to say like I'm going to have the kind of money that buys me the privacy needed to not be near a road or too near a road, but I will not be near a road where people are driving 56 miles, 55, 56 miles an hour as I am right now, especially with trucks there. There's a lot of things that I will not do again once I get off this truck. One of them is living by a road, and the second one is probably eating fast food. I can see myself never, if hardly ever, eating fast food again once I get off this truck. I have eaten so much McDonald's and Taco Bell and pizza while being on this truck that it just makes me ill sometimes to even hear those mentioned, hear those quote-unquote restaurants mentioned or see one. A lot of times I don't have a choice. I have been eating better recently. Been doing some basmati rice and some grilled chicken and some salads and some soups. The problem is I can't do that all the time, not because I'm lazy. It's because I don't have access to the supermarkets or stores that sell those foods sometimes, or I'm in a rush or something like that. Then I have to resort to the Subway and McDonald's I'm talking about. Again, it's not because I'm lazy. It's just I don't have access sometimes, and there's only so much food I could store in the refrigerator. But if you guys do have suggestions for foods that I could eat, I'd love you to leave that in the comments. And I'm dead serious. I might mention that daily, if not every other day. If you guys have suggestions for foods that I could prepare and eat on the truck easily. Now, easily and efficiently, those are two words that are necessary. I also do not have the ability to clean dishes. I have a Cuisinart grill that I cook burgers or sausages on sometimes, or grill some chicken. The problem is, after I grill the chicken, make the burgers, make the sausages, make sandwiches, what have you, I don't have the ability to clean that stuff up right away. Even at truck stops a lot, there's not a sink that you could use to clean that stuff. And a lot of the time they have the sink closed off to truckers because they know that truckers do dishes in there, and some of them, they make it hard for everyone else because they leave a mess. So they close those sinks off and then they don't even use them. So then I got a dirty Cuisinart grill, wrapped up in plastic bags because I don't want it to smell and make things bad on the truck. I got that wrapped up for a few days, if not a week or two, before I can get to a good sized sink and clean it up. So that's also not good. I do a rice maker that I use more frequently than the grill. So if you guys have any suggestions for food, then go right ahead. I still drink Soylent. The problem is they don't really sell it at stores here in the U.S. anymore. If you're wondering what Soylent is, it's like it's kind of like a meal replacement. It's like Ensure, but better. And I just say it better because it's more balanced, and it doesn't have as much sugar as one of those Ensure drinks or whatever those other drinks that are like Ensure have. Yeah, but when I do finally buy my house, it will not be by a road because I never want to hear road noise again. It will be in my nightmares, so I definitely do not want it in real life while I sleep. If you guys have places in America you haven't visited that you want to visit, let me know. I do have a lot of control over where I go, and I can visit some of these out of the way places, and you can come there on the truck. like I said, we will be all over America. Some places more than others. And basically, when I say some places more than others, we're going to be going to populated areas in America more than we're going to be going to less populated areas. We're going to be going to less populated areas a lot. We're going to be going to populated areas a lot more than that. So hi to everyone again. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to read the comments while I'm driving. We'll check them out maybe lightly at a fuel stop, but I'll definitely read all of them each night when I get